What is up guys, Brix here back with week 25 of Building Minas Tirith in Lego. As you can see behind me, it is looking awesome, and that just in the corner there is what we have been working on this week. Really liking how it's looking. I'm also going to showcase the minifigures. We did it on like the second week, so obviously 23 weeks ago. It was a long time, new viewers since then, so I'll showcase those a little bit as well. So without further ado, please drop a like and subscribe, as it really does help out the channel. We'll get right in to the update. So starting off this week's segment, I want to try and finish up these two walls today. So I'm going to go ahead and start doing that. I might do a little time lapse, I'm not sure, but I'm going to have a look at a little bit of a reference. I'll put the picture up in the time lapse of what it's going to try and look like. But I'm obviously going to include this building that actually me and my girlfriend have just built. I really like how it looks. I think she's done a really good job. She did the top bit, I did the bottom bit. And I think it actually ties together really well with all the curves and stuff and the arches. But that is going to go there. That's just kind of something random we've kind of come up with in our heads, if you will. But I think that looks pretty good. It's different to this building that we did last week, similar to these buildings, and I think it fits in Minas Tirith really well. We obviously need loads of buildings, so it's really good to have that. But I'm going to make a start on those two wall sections there. I have just found a bunch more of these faded white bricks, as well as this brick, so I'm going to try and use those up, because obviously I like adding texture to the walls and stuff. I think it just looks a lot better. As you can see, I've built this tower, so I've kind of copied the design for that there. I might put a dome on this, and I might do what I've done there, and have like a little like a panel, curved panel. I'm not sure, but I've pretty much managed to do this fully. I'll just have to do the back when it's on, because I'm not sure how high or whatever this is going to be. I've left these windows kind of see-through for now, but obviously we've got the half depth windows. But nonetheless, I really like how this looks. I've managed to pretty much get all the pieces from that pile over there, which is great. So I'm going to try and add this in so you can see where it's going to go, but it's super tall. So I'm going to place this tower around here somewhere. I'm not too sure yet, so I'm just going to kind of lean it up there. But I think that looks pretty good. It's obviously higher than the rest, and I've added like a little design onto the top of the building there with the little circle and stuff. I might do a bigger one, I'm not sure, because it is a quite square top compared to the other one. We need to add another 2 layers of plates under there so it fits with the kind of the sidewalk and path at the top. So that is going to go there. So I'm going to build a bit of like a back wall for that. I think it's only 20 studs wide. That's just going to be made out of bricks, and probably a few panels behind there as well. As you can see, with that section in, I think that looks great. Only thing is, you can see these panels. I don't know why I put those in there, but it's going to be at the bottom. I'm going to have a building here anyway, so hopefully you won't see them. It's just saved a little bit of brick. We don't have too many 1x4s left. A couple of 1x2s as well. Obviously a couple of bits there. Got loads of drawers, but they're kind of like miscellaneous pieces. But this is really the only bricked section that we need, if you will. So hopefully I'm going to try and include some panels, because I've obviously got buildings to go onto there. I think including buildings, it probably uses about the same amount of brick anyway. But I really like how this tower looks. It just breaks up the kind of almost flat vibe we have at the minute. I'm going to be replacing this for a bigger one. I think it'll just look better, because you can see the kind of the mechanism at the back I've used to put on. But I thought it'd block this doorway, but it doesn't. It's fine, you can still see it, so I'm happy about that. Only block the bottom of this tower, which isn't really that bad, but all the tiling back there is pretty good. So So to fill in that back, I'll put 2 panels on there as well. Try and use some of them up. But I'm really liking how Minas Tirith is looking there. I've been asked a lot what figures I'm going to be using, and these are them in here. Now I have showcased these figures before. You can see these are all of the Minas Tirith guards / knights that I have come up with. So a lot of these have spears. These 4 don't have any accessories yet. Those 2 don't have any hands. Still need to get hands for them. But everyone else but this guy at the front has a spear. This guy has a spear, and those 4 will also have swords. I really like how these guys look nonetheless. I think, you know, they're all official Lego pieces, and I think they all look great, and with them all being very similar. I tried to do different facial expressions for all of them, although there is the odd one that does have the same smile. I've also got a few of the haradrim figures that I've come up with as well. So we've got this guy with a kind of little, that's the one that sits on the elephant. I'm not sure on the names of any of these. I've kind of made them up, if you will. I've used like different orc pieces, like that's an orc torso. On the wrong way around, we've got the leg. We've got one guy back there as well. That's basically just an Indiana Jones minifigure, Kaale. And then there's this guy at the back. I believe that's the Pirates of the Caribbean minifigure there as well. So that is those. And I'm obviously going to be using just a bunch of like orc minifigures and stuff. I'm just going to try and get as many as I can, really. There's no kind of guide on what they look like, but I'm going to try use these orcs more than the Helm's Deep orcs. I'm going to have 1 or 2 of these, you know, just to kind of fill it out a bit. I believe I've got 13 of these. They are on the minifig wall at the minute, which I can't get to because they're in the way of Minas Tirith. So I've only got 1 of these, but I've got about 12 or 13 of them. They're not all these ones, but they're just like obviously random ones. Those are the main armies I'm going to be using. I'm obviously going to be using Gandalf the White, Pippin, and then a couple of custom figures that I've also come up with, like these. So a Denethor and a Faramir, stuff like that. I also have built a Nazgul dragon as well, or Fell Beast. But nonetheless, that is the bulk of the figures that I'm going to be using. So I'm going to take this top bit of Minas Tirith off for a second. As you can see, those are all my Lord of the Rings figures on the top 4 shelves there. There is every single one that they have made. So I'm going to be using obviously the majority of the ones that you see in Minas Tirith, and then I'm going to be using a lot of the Hobbit orcs as well, which are further down. Obviously all the dwarves on the shelf below that. I don't know if I can showcase any because it's really in the way. There's one there, super dark, but yeah. So those are the figures I will be using. So sadly, that does pretty much wrap it up for this week's segment. I'm really happy with how that tower looks. I think all the textured bricks as well look great. So next week, again, I'm going to try and finish that off. Obviously, I didn't get it done this week. The aim was to do both, but I haven't quite done that, unfortunately. But it should be done in the next episode. So without further ado, make sure to please drop a like and subscribe, as it really does help out the channel. And I'll see you all in the next one. Take care, guys.